This storyline weaves together danger, manipulation, and emotional fallout as the Newman family tries to stay ahead of multiple crises at once. Sharon Newman begins to sense that something is seriously wrong, and her alarm bells are justified. Between Nick's erratic behavior, the mounting Newman scandals, and Kane Ashby becoming a target, the pressure is intensifying on all sides. At the Newman ranch, Adam Newman brings Victor Newman what initially sounds like good news. The IT team has developed an algorithm designed to intentionally misdirect the AI system so that it targets false leads instead of real enemies. The idea is to protect Newman Enterprises by confusing anyone who might try to trace the AI's actions. However, the system still needs additional testing to avoid catastrophic errors. Victor, impatient as ever, refuses to wait. He argues that the family doesn't have the luxury of time, and Adam ultimately caves, agreeing to approve immediate use of the algorithm. This decision is risky and hints that Adam may be sabotaging the AI system just as much as he's trying to save it, creating consequences that could spiral out of control later. Victoria Newman soon joins the conversation and vents about the nightmare of damage control. The fallout from the AI scandal is spreading fast, and every move they make seems to create new problems. When Victor suggests going after Kane Ashby and Phyllis Summers by involving law enforcement, Victoria shuts that idea down immediately. She reminds Victor that he personally used the AI software against Arabesque. If the police get involved, the Newmans won't just be witnesses, they could become defendants. Court battles could drag on for years and prison time isn't off the table. This forces Victor to reconsider his usual scorched earth tactics. Meanwhile at Crimson Lights, Chelsea Lawson is trying to keep things under wraps when Esther Valentine notices something suspicious on Chelsea's laptop related to the Newman attack. Chelsea brushes it off as gossip, but the truth is far more serious. Negative buzz around Newman Enterprises is spreading rapidly, and Chelsea knows it's only a matter of time before things explode publicly. She eventually reaches out to Adam, asking him to meet, since the situation is escalating beyond simple damage control. Over at Sharon's cottage, the tension turns downright terrifying. Noah Newman pushes Nick Newman to finally confess what he plans to do with Matt Clark, who is still unconscious and locked in the trunk of Nick's car. Noah is horrified and openly fears that Nick is planning to kill Matt. Nick doesn't deny it. Instead, he doubles down, insisting that no one is going to change his mind and that Matt needs to disappear permanently. Nick is operating on rage, pain, and a belief that eliminating Matt is the only way to protect his family. Unbeknownst to them, Sienna Bacall is listening. After overhearing the conversation, she wastes no time taking the information straight to Victor Newman at the main house. This makes Sienna a critical wild card, as she's now inserting herself directly into the Newman power structure. After Victoria briefly meets with Sienna, she heads to Crimson Lights with Adam, where they regroup with Chelsea. Adam and Chelsea fully embrace their darker instincts, agreeing that if they're going to protect Newman Enterprises, they may have to fight dirty. Victoria joins in, and the trio begins brainstorming ways to strike back at Kane Ashby and Phyllis Summers without exposing themselves to legal disaster. This alliance signals that the Newmans are preparing for a counterattack that's strategic rather than impulsive. Back with Victor, Sienna explains exactly what she heard at Sharon's place. Victor learns that Nick has Matt unconscious and is threatening to kill him, even though Noah strongly objects. This information puts Victor in full control mode. Sienna also opens up about her personal feelings, admitting she cares about Noah but doesn't see a long-term future with him. Victor seems to soften toward her slightly, appreciating her honesty and usefulness, but ultimately agrees that once the Matt situation is resolved, it might be best for Sienna to return to Los Angeles, keeping her at a safe distance from Newman chaos. At Sharon's house, the situation escalates again when Sharon comes downstairs and learns the full truth about Matt. She understands why Nick would want revenge, but she's deeply disturbed that Noah is now entangled in something so dangerous. Sharon warns Nick that killing Matt would haunt him forever and destroy whatever peace he has left. Nick, however, refuses to budge and insists that this is something he has to do. That's when Victor arrives with Sienna and abruptly takes control. Victor insists that he should be the one to handle Matt, arguing that Nick is injured, emotionally compromised, and in no shape to carry this burden. He pushes Nick to step back and focus on getting medical care. Sharon, Noah, and even Sienna agree with Victor, leaving Nick completely outnumbered. Although Nick protests, he has no real support left. By the end of the episode, Victor positions himself as the final decision-maker in Matt Clark's fate. Nick is sidelined, the family is divided, and Sienna's role as both informant and outsider becomes even more complicated. The looming question now isn't whether Matt will disappear, but how Victor Newman will do it, and what the long-term consequences will be once the truth inevitably starts to surface.